Road, Chicago.
I see my name in shining lights, yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
It's time to get down to business on the weekend's #1 business program. Known as the King of Networking, your host, Shalom Klein, has worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and created countless jobs. So, to success, let's get down to business.
And indeed, we are all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You are on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. I have a jam-packed studio of some awesome and dynamic professionals and entrepreneurs. Lots in store for you. So if you want to call in to Get Down to Business, you can dial us here at the beautiful AM 560 The Answer studio at 312-642-5600. And be sure to check out our sponsors, Tandem HR. They have a beautiful new website, tandemhr.com, or give them a call, 630-928-0510. So the first up here in studio is my good friend, Louis Saltzman. Lou, thank you so much for joining us here on Get Down to Business.
Hi, Shalom. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So, tell me, your business, you've been around for quite a while, but constantly innovating and constantly finding new products and services for your customers. You're in the printing business.
Correct.
And for all those that say that everything is digital and everything has gone to print, what say you?
Well, like every other business in the last 30, 40 years, everything's changed. And in the printing business, the same thing has happened. We're doing digital now, we're doing variable data, we're doing inkjet, and there's a lot of things on the horizon that's changing almost every day.
So, family business?
Yes, long ago, not now. Now I'm with A&H Lithoprint, and we're working together.
But you've been in the printing business for a long time with your family.
My whole life. Started when I was 8 years old, setting ad book pages for my father.
And tell us, you just mentioned a little bit about the history and how you've continued to innovate, but tell us, I guess, what it's been like in the printing business. Hey, you're in it still. You must be having a little bit of fun.
Well, the New York Times a couple of years ago said that with the internet and everything, that printing has gone down, been reduced 27%. So what I tell people is, if printing is down 27% and 35% of the printers across the country have closed up, that means there's 8% more for the rest of us. So our business should be better. And sure enough, the last 3 or 4 years, business is better.
And tell me about the cool things that your plant is able to produce.
Well, to me, I think the biggest thing is the variable data. What variable data is you print on a big press and you print 1,000 sheets of the same thing. It comes off the press, 8,000, 9,000 an hour. Variable data, every sheet comes off the press different. So in effect, you hear about these these books, one book. You print the back page, then the next sheet off the press is the next page, and the next sheet is the next page. And when you're all done, the book is all done. It's in order. There's no gathering, and the book is done. That's called variable data because every sheet off the press varies. So you can do a lot of things like that. We make playing cards that way. You print the whole deck straight up, and it cuts down a lot of stuff.
Playing cards, that's
Correct.
unique. And I hope our entrepreneur friends that are listening this evening on the radio hopefully are coming up with some ideas of some good giveaways and some good product that they can think of to potentially promote their business. So what advice do you have for small business owners that are out there that everybody still does need to get the message out there? And I agree with you. Print is still very, very relevant.
Yes, just look at what you're getting in the mail and think about how many catalogs and everything gets mailed to you. I'll tell you what I tell my customers because they come to me and they say, I need a better price. And, I don't want printing to be thought of as commercial and that it's everybody can use it. So what I tell my customers is tell me what you want. Tell me how much you want to spend. Tell me where you want to be and let me work on it. I just had a customer last week who said he wanted to spend a certain amount of money, but every price I was giving him was higher. I said, well, tell me what you want to spend and I'll come up with an idea. And I got a nice email 2 days ago saying, you solved my problem. You brought the price in what I wanted. I actually brought the price in 20% lower than he wanted.
Oh, wow, so save money, and you're a person behind this. So these days, I don't want to name websites, but things that start with a V and then end with print or some other sites like that. Why should somebody work with a company like yours? You've been in this for a long time. Why does somebody need a relationship with the printer?
Because as I tell my customers, I don't want to be just anybody on the street where you look for the best price. I want to help you, and I think I've been trying to do that my whole life and trying to help my customers. And I mean, another example, I had a customer that wanted to do a mailing, and I showed him a way to cut. He was doing a first-class mailing, 20,000. I showed him a way to cut the paper down, cut the size of the brochure down, and I saved them 1 whole ounce. Instead of going 2 ounces, it went 1 ounce. 46 cents an ounce. On 20,000, that's $9,200. He paid for the mailing. I had him for a customer for life.
That reminds me, postage rates, I believe, went up today.
Did they really?
I think they did. Okay. I think they did. So hopefully that's a reminder for all entrepreneurs out there before you drop things in the mailbox tomorrow. Make sure you check what the rates of postage are. But of course, if you listen to our president, then I don't know, he wants to change the whole postal system. That's for another conversation. So a lot of what we've been talking about up until now have been for small businesses, folks that are very, very penny conscious. And listen, I put myself into that category. You got to watch the money. But Lou, you've worked with a lot of big companies as well. Can you tell us about some of the interesting projects, and if possible, even name some names of companies that you're proud of a strong relationship with?
Well, I've had customers for many years. I don't know. One would be Chia Pet. Have you heard of Chia Pet?
I have.
Okay, so we do.
That's a name from the past.
That's a name for the past, and the story about that fellow's company is unbelievable. We don't have enough time to tell you now, but he is just a great guy, great entrepreneur, and he's out in California. I've been doing work for him for many years. I have a lot of customers like that, and just want to keep them as customers and keep them happy. And
essentially, you are a business consultant on many levels. You are really spending time with business owners and helping them make sure that their money is going to be spent as efficiently, as productively as possible. And I know that we were just joking here in studio with some of our upcoming guests, and we were talking about meetings at Starbucks and sort of acting like that's our office. But I know that that's what you do with a lot of your customers. So you talk to a lot of business owners. What advice do you have for an entrepreneur that might be listening to this program? If they're just getting started in business and they're trying to message, they're trying to market, they're trying to advertise, what tips, advice do you know now that you sort of that you wish you knew when you were getting started in business?
I'll tell you one thing I would never give up, and that's face-to-face. A lot of times everybody, they talk on the internet, they trade emails, text, they don't do anything that way. I bring proofs out to my customers. Sometimes I even take out the first sheets of a printed job because I want to have that face-to-face contact. And when you have that face-to-face contact, I think you make a better relationship. And if that's one thing I learned over the years was I go to see people. And I've had customers even tell me, you don't have to come and see me so much. I say I want to see you because I like you and I want to keep on doing work with you.
Strong relationships and strong referral partners as well. Lots of other people, professionals in business that hopefully can bring business your way. And of course, in a moment, we'll share contact information with our listeners so they can find out more and schedule that cup of coffee and talk to you. I think when people think of me, I think they just think, for the folks that haven't met me, they probably just think that I look like a cup of coffee. You're staring at me here in studio. I promise you I am more than a cup of coffee. But if I was a cup of coffee, I'd be a Starbucks cup of coffee, not a Dunkin'. Just saying. Lou, for listeners that are out there, what's too small of a job and what's too big of a job for you?
There's nothing too small of a job. I do decks of playing cards, 10, 15, 20, whatever you want, because it doesn't matter.
That's great.
Whatever people want, I will do.
Lou Saltzman, we are running out of time, but I want to make sure our listeners have a way to get a hold of you to discuss. How can they reach you?
My email is Lewis, Lewis, at saltz.com. My cell number, I take cell calls. You can call me 24/7. I don't sleep. 312-316-5458.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Lewis Saltzman, thank you so much for joining us, explaining the print business. Truly a fascinating line of work. And hopefully our listeners, again, will get a hold of you to talk about their printing needs. And if there are referral partners, I'm sure you'd love to talk to them one more time. If you do have a website that people can check out?
Saltzmanprinters.com. SALTZMAN printers, PRINTERS.com.
Fantastic, and I know that a lot of there's a lot of good ideas and information posted there on the website with a list of products and services. But think out of the box. Don't just look at the website because there's a lot more ideas that Lewis Saltzman can share with you, and he'd love to do that. He takes those cell phone calls, and as he said, doesn't sleep. Not recommended for everybody else. Coming up after the break, we're going to be talking more about small business jobs and entrepreneurship, so you don't want to miss that. And as I mentioned, be sure to check out our sponsors at Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them online, tandemhr.com, or give them a call, 630-928-0510, 630-928-0510. And be sure to get on my website, shalomklein.com. That's where you get a sneak peek of who's going to be on next week on the show. That's all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship, and download podcasts from episodes of Get Down to Business like the one that we are airing today. I can't believe we've been on the air now for over 3 years. That means that we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of great interviews with fantastic decision makers and entrepreneurs and fascinating stories. Check out the website, shalomklein.com. And in fact, speaking of the website, we have the team that put together that amazing website, brand new website. Be sure to check it out, shalomklein.com. But we'll teach you a little bit more about them coming up after this break.
How can you get